conditions will suit the Indians more than the other two games, and they will really want to make an impression here.
Here's Ishant Sharma.
And what will be interesting to see is the pace of the surface. It will have nowhere near the bounce we saw at the Wanderers, or for that matter even in Durban. Now pace wise, because there's hardly any grass on the surface, just get the feeling this pitch might get a little slower as the day progresses with the sun beating down. These are conditions that could well allow the Indians to bounce back.
It will be interesting to see the pace of the pitch overall, because there's been so much rain here in the last week. You can keep a pitch dry, but you can't stop the moisture seeping in underneath it from the sides. Average first innings score here in a day-night game at Supersport Park is 266, which is high as an average score, so there's a few 300s in here.
And that's exactly what South Africa would look to try and get, considering the form there. And
wow, has he hit that well or what? The third man hardly reacted. Beautiful shot.
well, you see two things with that shot. First, not much lateral movement, but how good is his timing? Exquisite. Standing up tall on his toes. The second thing you're seeing, it's a very quick outfield in spite of the rain. Beautifully executed. That's an area of strength, square of the wicket on the offside for Hashim Amla. But put away beautifully.
Biggest part of the ground, that too. Longest boundary. A little bit of bounce there, but Ishant Sharma, if anyone's going to get bounced, it's going to be him.
Yes, but he's got to bowl straight. Like that last delivery, which was more towards off stump. So he had to adjust Amla. The moment you give him width, he sits back in the crease. Very risky player.
It's gone finer, straight to third man.
Well, he's a good all-round player, Hashim Amla, but he scored most of his runs on the offside, as you can see there, 37% between cover and straight down the ground. Plenty on the offside, square of the wicket as well. Moment he's given width on offer.
Just one ball remaining in this opening over. It's 5 without loss. Some interesting articles in the paper. Amla, who's one of the calmest men I've ever seen on a cricket field, saying how calm Quinton de Kock is, and batting with him is no alarms. It just seems to be very much in control of what he's doing. It's tremendous news for one so young. Three changes if you just switched on. Cullis is out of the side. Davids comes into it. Cullis is going away to prepare for the test matches coming up, and Steyn and Morkel rested as well. So the greater part of the bowling attack that has won this series is not playing today, and Tahir comes back into the attack. Yadav, the bowler from the Innups River end. Reasonably decent crowd in. I know that stand looks very empty, but it's still a working day. No doubt it'll fill up as evening comes.
Yes, what Dhoni will look for is some consistency from Umesh Yadav. Problem with him is he will in his 10 over spell bowl 6 or 7 good overs and then go for plenty in 2 or 3 overs, and that spoils his figures. Bowling straight. Just get the feeling he's still bowling within himself. Much better line, much better length to Hashim Amla.
It's up near the splice as well. He's getting a little bit of bounce. It's a big appeal here, but almost stifled by Dhoni. Seemed to be making his way down the leg side.
Looked as if it would have angled down the leg side, plus the height. And he was jumping, hit him way above the rolls on the left pad.
Oh, that's pinged off the bat. This race past mid-on. Wow. I think we do have a good batting pitch here, Ravi.
Yes, and you can hit through the line, as you've seen here, but once again the timing special here from Hashim Amla. Yes, the work with the bottom hand to send the ball away from mid-on to get the placement. He plays the ball so late. Just a flick of the wrist and away she goes. And what it's done, it's prompted a field change straight away. Not much movement, so just one slip in place now.
Overall.
9 without loss. That was in the gap, and that was way out if he'd hit, wasn't it? Blimey.
I think he'd given up.
The cock called him then. Amla reacted straight away. But there was a hesitation. He'd just given up. Said, well, I hope he misses. Miles out. Difficult throw on the turn.
Well, he just had that extra bit of time to get his balance right before throwing.
South Africa lost the game to Australia, having scored 284 for 7. Batting first back in 96-97. De Kock gets his first boundary through the onside, which he's favoured for most of this series.
And it's a shot that's got him a lot of runs. Clear indication that he's a kind of player who picks up length quickly. Fractionally short, and it's just a slight transfer of weight. He's pushing forward. Nicely played. Total control.
Down the wicket, and 4 more. 18 without loss, 4 gone.
So second boundary of the over, and picking his spot nicely. Also timing the charge very well. Bowler not able to change his length once he delivered.
that final boundary in the last over. De Kock very late to move down the wicket, giving the bowler no real opportunity to change his length. Just 2 quick steps and inside mid-on. There it is, the first one short. That went through mid-wicket earlier in the over. The yellow balls and the outside edge, and it might beat third man. No, it doesn't. Good fielding. It does. Thought he'd stopped it. Seemed to get there and then fall over the top of it.
Again, signs of how quick this outfield is. This one coming off a thickish outside edge, but the ball raced away. So he came hard at it, Amla. Third man a little too square. He'll be disappointed because the ball went right through his legs there.
Way! Oh, he's hit it straight to square leg. What do you make of that now? Is it too high? Umpires want to have a look. Above waist height, remember, it will be a no ball.
Well, we'll first have to see the front foot no ball, but I don't think there's a problem with the height. It's this looked like from the outside that it was below the waist, but what a way to get out if he's out. Well, his eyes would have lit up. He would have said, where should I park this ball? A full toss. That's fine, no problem there. Now you got to see the height. Is this above the waist? He's out. I think he'll have to depart. I think it took him a little bit by surprise, that delivery. He's checking with the third umpire. Well, out is the signal because Hashim Amla is leaving the ground. So a lucky break for the Indians. They've broken the opening partnership for the first time early in this one-day series. It's 22 for 1. He's straight to Yuvraj Singh. He would take that happily. And Amla, who's looking good, he goes for 13, 22 for 1.
Henry Davids comes in at number 3. He's in familiar surroundings. That rushed through.
Yes, working up some pace. Now this is why Henry Davids is there. That full toss taking Amla by surprise. Just picking out the man at square leg, Yuvraj Singh.
$25 for 1, then 6 overs gone. De Kock not out 12. David's yet to get off the mark, and a change in the commentary box. HD Ackerman is with Mike Haseman.
Thanks, Robin. Oh, that's not a bad delivery. That is a beauty. You'll be pleased with that. We've seen some terrific stroke play already from De Kock, who doesn't seem to be worried by any length these guys are bowling because he picks it up so quickly. But that one, beautiful seam position, maybe just going away a fraction. Yeah, just enough. So what have we seen so far in the first half hour? We've seen much better lines, predominantly from India. We've seen this as a very good surface. It seems to be coming on nicely to the bat. I think India should show a little bit more of that, a little bit of aggression. So they need to step up. They've been pretty meek and mild up until now. We've seen the outfield quick. It could be a pretty high-scoring game, this one. Afternoon, HD.
Afternoon, Hayes. It always is a good ground for batting, purely because of what you mentioned. The outfield is so quick, so you get such value for your shots. The air thin up here in the high felt, so 6 hitting becomes something of a, well, something it so happens so often. Not a huge amount of threes run here, that's for sure.
Cries of catch it again. Was in the air for a while on his way to covers. I think also a big difference here on the track today. We've mentioned it's coming onto the bat quite nicely. The batsman will look to trust this surface as it comes on. It's not stopping. Now, that's something that's happened over the last couple of years at Supersport Park. It's just tended to hold up a fraction because there has been a little bit of grass on it, just a covering of grass, not live grass, but a covering of grass. And we've, if anything, had a bit of a tennis ball bounce, I suppose, from time to time. But there's no grass whatsoever today, so it's coming onto the bat. De Kock's the sort of bloke who's really going to enjoy that.
The one international that was played here against Pakistan, there was that tennis ball bounce, and batsmen found shot making quite difficult. The ball would forever be hitting the splice of the bat. This one does certainly seem to have some pace in it, and I think there was a little bit of concern about how much pace there would be in because of the amount of rain that had fallen over the past few days, and that there might be some moisture or dampness underneath the top surface.
He might have to bowl that one again, I think. Falling into the trap, I suppose, of the left and right-handed batting combination. You really do need to make some adjustments, but you would think at this level they can do it quite easily. Had a chat to Hilbert Smith before the start of play, HD. He said this track was ready on Monday. They had a tent all over the track yesterday, all over the square when it started to rain. They brought that in about lunchtime. They had the normal covers on. It's a terrific draining ground, this one. Hence us starting on time, on schedule. Had a tent over the pitch, so he had no dramas, no concerns at all. He said the track's nice and hard. It's a good shot. Can't play that sort of strike unless it's coming on nicely. Well fielded.
He'll be desperate for some runs, Henry Davids. He's been given one or two opportunities in the Proteas setup. Once we know that he walked in with 2 or 3 balls to face and got out without scoring. On the other occasion he had plenty of time and didn't. So here again, in at number 3 on his home ground, a place he knows really well. Be looking to take full advantage.
Yeah, the same thing happened at T20 in Dubai as well. He only had a couple of balls to face. 28 for 1.
Here you were talking about that tent that they had over the surface. I mean, it's not just an ordinary tent. They were rolling the pitch underneath that tent, which is quite amazing. 28 for 1. They've been more disciplined today, have India in their lines specifically. Not as much width has been offered, and they've managed to get an early wicket, something that they struggled to do in the previous 2 ODIs.
What a gift. Goodness me, I think Hashim Amla will still be shaking his head in the change room. There's an edge, and also a catch, and another wicket. So this is much better from India. Again, Sharma's not bowling with any great pace, but the lines have been far superior to what we've seen so far.
And when you go up early in the order, what you don't want to be doing is defending the ball towards cover. It's a good delivery. There's a little bit of bounce there. It's quite high up on the outside edge. Good catch from Rayner in the end. Davids will be disappointed. Elevated or brought into the side to bat at number 3. Struggles yet again. Gone for 1. South Africa in trouble. 28 for 2.
Opening stands of 152 and 194 in the first 2 games, just 22 today, and now the second's gone with 28 on the board, which means JP Duminy, with his fine career record and a bit of a smile, is in the middle. It's a beautiful day at the moment at Supersport Park. I'm sure we're going to get a little bit of a thunder shower later. Hopefully not too heavy. They generally sweep through a bit this time of the year, and the thunderstorms come later in the day. With a bit of luck, it'll miss this terrific ground. Good stuff from India, picking up the second.
Such a big batting position, number 3. Normally 3 or 4 is your best player in the side. Young man just trying to make his way in the international arena, put in a number 3 outside edge, found. India have a second. David's gone. This is going to be a big test now, I think, for the South African middle order. You mentioned, Hazy, that there were some starts that South Africa got some big starts, which it's taken the pressure off the middle order. But it's been a while since South Africa have been, when they've been in trouble, that the middle order have posted an imposing total.
Terrific line again from Sharma.
That's a good delivery, just nips away off the seam, away from the left-hander. So what we want from here is to see one of a Dumini or a Miller. Yes, Quinton de Kock still at the crease, but one of a Dumini or a Miller to contribute in a significant fashion. One of them going to get 100.
And even more important now that de Kock continues. He's the man in form. He's the one that's had an absolute blinder so far. He's on 13 at the moment. He's got to make sure that he doesn't throw it away. That's one of those things that can often happen in the game of cricket when you've had a couple of big scores. Got him again. It's another good catch, this one. That was sharp from Reiner. So Sharma's picked up another one. This time South Africa are very much on the back foot.
Well, something that the middle order haven't had to do for a period of time. Face the new ball, the real new conker. Good length, this one from Sharma. And again, just nips away ever so slightly, just enough. But it's a fine catch from Suresh Raina, diving to his right, the second slip. Holds on to a sharp chance. South Africa are in an awful pickle now. Dumini, he's the man that has to go. He hasn't troubled the scorers. South Africa, 28 for 3.
AB de Villiers averaging 49, over 6,000 runs, 1,500s. Coming in today at number 5. Been floating around that batting order just a little bit in this one-day series. A couple of changes today. Means that the batsmen have got some serious work to do. Beautifully bowled by Sharma. That's much better.
This is something we haven't seen a lot of from the Indian fast bowlers, and that's the aggression that's been dished out to them, to their batsmen. This one's whacked halfway down. De Villiers new at the wicket. That's a goodie.
Yeah, he was brought in the last game, Sharma. His fastest delivery, I think, was 135 k's per hour, so he provided some height, but he didn't provide much pace. I think he might have been given a quiet little chat on the sidelines between the last game and this one, and been told to carry this attack, to lead this attack and fire up. Today's fastest ball, over 140. 28 for 3. Double wicket maiden for Sharma. 8 overs gone, 28 for 3. Miller next, McLaren, Philander, de Kock still there. 13 at the moment. Kepler Wessels has popped into the commentary box. He's found something he wants to have a bit of a chat about. De Kock on strike now. Good afternoon, Kepler. What do you got?
Afternoon, Michael. Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about Quinton de Kock. Should he be in the test side because he's been playing so well? So first, I'm just going to ask you two guys a question. Do you think he should be in the test side right now?
I don't, actually. I think that the fact that South Africa's lost one test match over the last 18 months means they're a settled unit. I also don't know where he'd bat.
Well, where he'd bat, he'd be competing, I suppose, with Vera Peterson at the top of the order. And what I want to look at here particularly is his defence. Is his defence good enough to play test cricket? That's a question we've got to ask ourselves, because he's good enough on the attack. We've seen that. Test surfaces will move around a little bit more as well. We've got to remember that against a new ball. Now, he survived that at the Wanderers, did pretty well in Durban as well, on a surface that didn't do quite that much, and doing okay today as well. Just occasionally on defence, his bat doesn't come through straight. It comes down on an angle, but it hasn't really got him into trouble. I would say he's not far away from being ready to play test cricket. I would agree with you that maybe, you know, whose spot is he going to take? Can afford to wait a while. He's very young, but I think it's imminent. I don't think he's far away.
Well, that's really my question to you, Kepler, in that is it at the top of the order? I mean, Gilchrist didn't open the batting for Australia in Test cricket. Could he bat later down? There's a few problems there at number 6 and 7 at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. It's either at the top of the order, or it's in that sort of 6-7 position, and maybe keeping wicket as well. So there's two options available for him. So again, we come back to the fact that it's a nice problem to have for the selectors, to have somebody like him who can fill an all-round role in such good form.
think the fact that South Africa are number one by distance in the Test arena makes a big difference. They want to make sure that they keep that unit together and show some loyalty. But here's my other question to you this time, Kepler. Which other side in world cricket would not have him in the Test lineup?
Well, there's certainly, most other sides would love to have him. So there's that Test lineup. It's pretty strong. But if you look around the world, I mean, possibly, if you look at, Australia would have him, I'm sure, because they've got some issues there. England have had a steady top order. They've got issues there now. All the others would have him. I'm pretty sure maybe even India will have him. Definitely Pakistan will have him. So South Africa is probably the only side that is battling to find a spot.
England might have him and his brother.
You've confused me, Hazy. Who's his brother?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
$144 k's per hour, that last delivery. It's a nice shot.
So anyway, I think the best thing for him to do now is to go back to the Super Sport Series and get some runs in 4-day cricket there, put some more pressure on. He's certainly enhanced his reputation magnificently over the last few weeks. So it's just a terrific situation from a South African cricket point of view.
Yeah, and I think you make a good point, and so does Mike, with regard to, let's call Alvaro Peterson. What South Africa the selectors don't want to do is leave him out the side, then someone else struggles and then have to bring him back. You want to give him the opportunity that if it doesn't go well, then he's gone. But if he does do well, then you can run with him for a period of time. But it has been a stable setup, that Test side, and you don't want to fix something that isn't broken.
And if there is an injury, then he can step in. So I think we're all in agreement. It's going to happen somewhere along the line. Just a question when.
Thanks, Kepler. Right, now he's got some serious work to do again. Fresh from 200s. Spending a little bit more time in the middle, being a little bit more patient today than he was in the first couple of one-dayers. See, that's a good shot. That is just a remarkable shot. It's a fingertip from the bowler as well. Such is the power that it still races away straight for 4. 34 for 3.
Well, that was certainly a stroke of a man in a rich vein of form. How good is this? Again, he doesn't have a big flourish when he plays the on drive. Not many batsmen do. But it is pushed down the ground with real power.
Gee, that's very special. That really is a magnificent stroke. Absolutely nothing wrong with that ball. It was just superb balance from de Villiers.
Well, Quinton de Kock played a similar stroke to what AB de Villiers has on this occasion. Just the perfect on drive. See how different it is to the off drive, because there's no big flourish with the hands, as I mentioned before. It's just you've got to make sure that you get your weight over your front foot. That's where the timing is created.
A couple of guys at the crease now for South Africa who are in form.
Bit of rain around.
Correct, yeah. Terrific. Brilliant from AB de Villiers for extra cover for 4. No way was that a half volley.
That was a fabulous stroke from de Villiers. The line that the ball has come down would suggest that you would try and hit this past mid-off. But he just opens the face at point of contact and finds the gap between cover and mid-off. A picture perfect extra cover drive.
Seeing a lot of shots on the up today. Again, an indication that the surf is a nice one. So 12 overs gone, 46 for 3 it is. De Kock on 19, AB de Villiers been there for 14 balls for his 10, and Stand with 18. In the commentary box now, Sean Pollock and Pommy Mbangwa.
It's nicely played. Hit down hard on it, and he got it past the man at mid-off. A couple of runs. Continues to collect. It's a good fielder, is Jadeja. Happiness all round, no doubt, as far as the Indian side is concerned, because they've got early breakthroughs, 3 wickets down South Africa, and having to try and form a partnership, a good one, a substantial one, to set a platform.
And they work the openers out too. It's the high full toss that breaks that partnership. They were probably sitting in the team meeting, say back of a length, outside off stump, try and shape it away. Go for the high full toss, and Hashim Amla will flick it to square leg.
Shot, beautiful shot. 4 runs. What a way to bring up the 50 for South Africa.
He's in good touches, Quinton de Kock, and he's showing it again today. Another example, some wonderful timing. Really just frees the arms. There's only the 3 people in the circle on the offside. That one's over pitched. And the man at mid-off is quite wide, so any sort of decent contact, straightish, and you're going to pick yourself up a boundary. Change of angle now for Yadav. He's decided he's going to come round the wicket, try and tuck the cock up. Not allow him to free his arms.
Hasn't got that through, and he's not happy. It's a cock. And he felt it was an opportunity to get it through the gap, through the offside. Nobody's sweeping. Here go the stats man. Oh, Keith Lane alongside is pulled one up. Only 18 of 670 matches has been won by a team batting first and losing 3 or more wickets in the mandatory power play. That's 2.7%. Don't know where he's pulled that from. It's a whole night up, I think.
They don't get any sleep, these stats men. They go and find stories from all different angles.
Statistical angles. .276 at 6 and over. It's around there. I reckon South Africa will want to get to 270, 280. Oh. 53 for 3.
I quite often get a few tweets about guys, did you know that this and this stat? And I have to always reply and say, no, I didn't have any idea. But I'm glad that you've now told me. I'll sleep better for it.
Here's Yadav. In the gap, 4 runs. There's that width. And de Kock pounces on it.
And it hardly was with Pom. The plan is in place. They've got 5 men on the leg side, just the 4 on the offside. So he wants to attack middle and leg. And he's just given him a touch of width. Cox opened the face, played it square. Timing was superb. Here we have a look at it finishing. Probably a foot outside off stump. But with the field that's set, that is too much width. So now there's been another change of the field. And the man's gone back on the offside. The sweeper's gone out.
That's where he should have been. Comment I made about Mohammed Shami in the previous over after his last ball, that he's been good in control of length and line, wanting to cramp up de Kock. He's managed to keep his line pretty straight. He's also got the ball to swing through the series. We've seen him swing the ball away from right-handers, Mohammed Shami. And you speak of this young fella here, Umesh Yadav, was a decent bowler. He's got gas, he can bowl pretty fast. What he doesn't have is a good control of length, and every now and again he just bowls a bad ball. It's nearly carried all the way to third man. It's wide and a bit on the full side. But yeah, he's got pace. He can get through batsmen, but at the top level, as soon as he strays, whether it's line or length, he gets punished. And you can tell by his economy or lack of it that he kind of needs to tighten up. Look at that, the fastest ball.
Yeah, it's good speed, but unfortunately at 140 you still have to have a little bit more control to be as effective as you can be. Advancing down the wicket on this occasion. Full of confidence he is. But I think he might miss out in the test matches if Zahir Khan is fit. Maybe they'll go with Sharma, Shami and Zahir Khan. I think that would be the three seamers.
Straight to the man and put down. That's exactly what they've been after. And oh, it was as if it was in slow motion. I bet even for those in the change room, Duncan Fletcher, Trevor Penny and the rest. Oh dear.
The perfect plan. He's got it in the right place. He's paddled it around, airborne. I don't know who that is. I think there could be a Jinky Arana who's on as a substitute fielder. And yet if can't believe it. Neither can Dhoni. The plan was put in place. It worked perfectly. All it was required was the catch to be taken, and it goes down.
Oh, he'll be distraught about that. 71 for 3.
That's up in the air and put down. Well, he just seemed to have judged it, Yuvraj Singh. This could be a costly miss here from the Indian point of view. He's one of the best fielders in the Indian side. He did all the right things, got two hands to it, and the ball going to ground.
I think certainly running for Quinton de Kock. In the middle of that previous delivery came off a leading edge. It was in the air for a long time. Yuvraj had to make a lot of ground. He got there in the end and got there comfortably. So he'll be disappointed with that drop.
Yes, he's bowling at a good pace, Ashwin. The line also good to both the left-hander and the right-hander.
Coming, Ash.
That wicket would have been good for his confidence as well.
Yours.
3 of the over, 80 for 3.
Just a little bit early on that, Quinton de Kock. Yuvraj Singh running back to try and catch that. They're never easy. But I think what will disappoint him is that he got there in the end and he got there comfortably and he just couldn't hang on.
No grass on the surface, so every now and then the odd ball just gripping and holding.
So in the three-match series so far, Quinton de Kock is now on 290 runs, so that's the most by a South African in a three-match series so far. The previous highest scorer was Herschel Gibbs with 265, so another milestone achieved by Quinton de Kock.
Well, he's on 49. Takes the single and his dream run continues. Another half century, and that's following 2 back-to-back hundreds.
And wickets fell all around him today, so he stayed very calm, played very well, busy resurrecting the innings with his captain Abby de Villiers. So just growing in stature, Quinton de Kock.
Both these players quite happy to just milk the bowling at this stage, look for the singles, try and build this partnership. Oh, that's a fine shot. Just waited on it to get the placement right. And that's a boundary to end the over. 96 for 3.
He's played beautifully again today. Quinton de Kock scored runs all around the wicket, always strong through the offside. And he's played that pull shot very well lately, used his feet pretty well. Timing exquisite. Always value for shots at this venue. It's a good pitch as well, ball coming onto the bat. And Quinton de Kock again in complete control.
So the 100 comes up for South Africa. So these two have done well. 28 for 3 was the score when AB de Villiers came out to the middle. It's now 100 for 3.
Keith Lane, our statistician, has just told me that the average first inning score is 266. So South Africa well on track to achieve that.
Inside out, beautifully placed. He knew exactly what he was doing, AB de Villiers.
Effortless, AB de Villiers at his very best. Not many players can play this shot as comfortably as AB de Villiers did. He just gave himself a fraction of room and went airborne over extra cover. Beautifully struck.
So the boundary is just beginning to flow now. Nicely placed. Finds the boundary. Just fractionally shorter from Ashwin. It gave de Kock enough time to rock onto that back foot. 125 for 3.
So AB de Villiers looking good as well today. He's on 36 of 56, 3 boundaries for him. And there's another opportunity. It looked like a difficult one. It was a thick outside edge. We'll just have to look for the deflection.
Yes, there were 2 sounds. Now, how much did that deflect off the edge? Just holding up. Yeah, big deflection.
It's a tough chance. Sometimes they go in and sometimes they don't. And that's another boundary. I was just talking about his ability to place the ball to perfection. And here's another example of exactly that.
Well, he does pick his spots well. Big gap between long on and deep mid wicket. And you can see he gets himself into a position where he can play the ball in that direction. And gets close to the line of the ball and the pitch of the ball. And works it hard through mid wicket.
He's played a few defensive pushes into that offside area there, and a number of them, and they have raced to the sweeper on the offside boundary.
How good a shot is that? Just how good a shot is that? I was about to say 15 fours in the innings, no 6s. Well, there is now. He's just flicked that over the fence.
But it's the gap that he's chosen. Straight over the mid-wicket, who's in the inner ring saving one, so plenty of space in that area. So he would have thought low risk. Well, no risk. It's gone all the way.
Shot. Has cleared the left side and slapped it through the off.
Well, he took his time at the beginning of his innings, AB de Villiers. He had to. He was under pressure. But now he's starting to show the full array of strokes. He's 43 of 61. That's as good as it gets.
just made some room for himself by just clearing his left leg out of the way. De Kock now happy to just give the strike back to de Villiers. Again, he finds a bit of room, but also finds the fielder. Good fielding. Good calling too. All the world that looked like it might have got past him, but Kohli very quick in the field. Short third man's also an impossible place to save a single. Another 50 for AB de Villiers, and a very important one it's been. Patient, part of a big partnership of 132 now. It's 37th 50 in this format, and he's 6th against India.
And just the 4 boundaries. That's very unlike AB de Villiers, and it shows the type of innings that he had to play. The position that South Africa found themselves in, he had to rebuild with the young man Quinton de Kock, and he did that beautifully.
Quinton de Kock has now become the highest run scorer in a 3-match series ever, with 331 runs. Ouch. Maybe lay down for a little bit too long then, missed out on the single. Going past that 3-3-1, going past Martin Guptill. Oh, that's up the bank. .168 for 3.
You know, sometimes as a batsman you can get into your mind and you get stuck just hitting the ball up the ground for 1. So the ability to, when you get a bad ball, to find the boundary is also quite exceptional. The Kock did that. It was a poor delivery and was spanked away.
Stroke, you get a couple here.
I'm ready to answer your... No, actually, I'm not going to answer your question, Jack, because I'm going to ask you. He couldn't, could he?
In the air, but all the way. South Africa beginning to turn it on now.
Forget all the fancy footwork from AB de Villiers. This was premeditated. 2 men up in the circle, both behind square on the leg side. He was always going to try and sweep at some stage. And he got all of it. Oh, down she goes.
Difficult for Ashwin to bowl in a power play. He's got a long on. He's got the man picking the ball up at deep mid-wicket, and his other man is on the square cover boundary. So Couple of areas now. This young man sits on 98.
Well, cardinal error for a batsman is you don't want to ever abuse form. When you're playing well, you need to run with it. Too often batsmen are playing well and the old 37 caught cover happens. This young man, Quinton de Kock, is on the verge of 3 consecutive ODI hundreds. 36 gone, 179 for 3.
AB de Villiers has played quite beautifully for this 50. It's been one of the more patient that we've seen him play. Plenty of singles, but when he did hit the fours, they were exquisite shots. Cleverly worked out and well executed.
Runs all around the ground for AB de Villiers. 4 fours and 1 6. The thing about AB de Villiers, unlike most batsmen, is that he never has an ugly innings. Even if he gets 16, it's never ugly. You can go through all the great players, and there's been an occasion where they've got an ugly 61.
Now Mohamed Shami comes into the attack. 1 over of the power play has been bowled by Ashwin. Brings de Kock on strike.
Is he nervous after getting 2 in a row?
Oh yeah. Shami. Okay, that wouldn't have been the way that I'd have gone about it if I was this good and I could get to 99. What about you, HD?
Well, this is just the confidence of the young man. It's not one that he would want to remember. The way I got to my 3rd consecutive 100 was I ran down the wicket and slapped it back past the bowler. Come on now. Work hard. They don't come around that often.
There it is. What a phenomenal performance. He joins 4 others who have got 3 in a row. Fantastic. The answer to your question is yes, he can.
To get 1 is an achievement. To get 2 is quite brilliant. This is phenomenal performance from Quinton de Kock. 300s on the bounce against the number 1 ODI playing side in the world.
He joins Zahir Abbas, Syed Anwar, Herschel Herman Gibbs, and the man standing the other end, AB de Villiers. They're the other 4 that have got 3 in a 3-match series. Abbas and Anwar for Pakistan, Gibbs and de Villiers and de Kock for South Africa. That's 6 more. And not a clever delivery.
Not to AB de Villiers. Not when he's got 62. This is also his home ground, so he knows this surface better than most. And I'll tell you what, he didn't even middle it.
Goodness me, that is improvisation. He's just opened the face and hit it for 6. Over cover. It's 193 for 3. And that brings drinks onto the field. Let's have a look at this young man's 3rd successive 100 and some of the shots that he's played.
Yeah, for me, this has been the pick of the 3. And only because of the position that South Africa got themselves into early on. They lost 3 quick wickets. There was no senior campaigner in Hashim Amla. He got out early as well. So you had to build a partnership with the captain, and did it brilliantly. And while doing it, compiled another 100. 3 in a row for Quinton de Kock.
Must be pointed out too that Paul Sterling has actually got 4 in a row for Ireland, but that wouldn't have been in a 3-match series. He's there you go. Get past 47, look out. It's got no 50s. There's no, ridiculous, isn't it? Fill that page up.
Some would play a lifetime to get 400s in ODIs.
Right, Ishant Sharma now. A couple of good overs already in the power play.
From an Indian perspective, they must be thinking, what happened? We were well in control. If we just get one of these 2 out, there would be Miller, who hasn't got some runs of late, McLaren, who's an all-rounder, Philander. We're into the bowlers. We've got a real chance of rolling South Africa over.
Missed one.
Short ball, dispatched. Didn't quite middle this. That's from around about middle and leg. To play that stroke, well, I can only describe it as impossible.
Played.
So far, Jackers, this power play belongs to the batsman.
Yeah, for a change. Seen us bolt of lightning away in the distance, looking towards Johannesburg and slightly to the left. That's, there we go. It's looking a little ugly. That's through and 4. Beautiful stroke.
Well, it is to the short side of the ground. And AB de Villiers, upon contact, shouted 2. He wanted 2. He felt that he could only get 2 if he beat the man at extra cover, that the sweeper would get there and cut it off. He didn't know quite how well he did hit it. He's got 4.
See how deep he's in the crease there. Eventually plays forward, but he's way back. Was a high guy.
Seen them take wickets before.
That's marginal, that. It's very high.
Bowled him out, looking for a big shot towards the end of the over. So Ishant Sharma gets his 3rd wicket. But wow, what an innings this has been.
Well, he did everything correct today, Quinton de Kock. Absorbed the pressure that India had exerted early on in the South African innings. Built a partnership with AB de Villiers. And then eventually went to a well-deserved 3rd one-day international 100 in a row. Brilliant innings. Applause, well-deserved. 101, South Africa, 199 for 4.
Nicely bowled that. Mohammad Shami. New batsman in is David Miller. Average just under 30. Tough job he's got generally in this side, and coming in as the number 6 batsman, and more often than not is trying to go straight away and trying to finish off the innings. Bit better today. Go for the single. Shikhar Dhawan doesn't pick it up. So de Villiers across and safely home. South Africa on to 200.
This is why it's there. Terrific innings by Quinton de Kock coming to an end. Good piece of bowling as well. Ishant Sharma bowling the slower ball. Quinton de Kock just threw the shot a little bit too early, but phenomenal effort yet again by Quinton de Kock. What a brilliant series he's had.
Yeah, good day out too for Ishant Sharma. On to 99 one-day international wickets. Gave them a good start. Now coming in at the back end. Yeah, I say a little bit better for David Miller off the mark straight away. 12 overs is some time. It's certainly more than he'd normally get. Then he can somewhat build to get going.
Such a tough job that he's got, because expectation is always there for him to walk in and clear the boundaries. Sometimes he comes in with 3 or 4 overs left and he's got to get on with it straight away, and it's not easy. You do that once or twice early in your career and people expect you to do it all the time, but it just doesn't happen that way. But I'm with you today. He's at least got a couple of overs to have a look, and also the advantage today is he's got AB de Villiers at the other end going well, so he can take 5 overs to play himself in and then launch at the end.
Yeah, I like AB de Villiers batting a decent amount of time and not coming in just as a finisher. At number 4, one feels that he gets more of a chance if the team gets going and there's a big platform set such as life. But if they're early wickets, he's got the technique, having started as an opening batsman. He's got the technique to combat what's going on, add the running between the wicket, how quick he is. He can then build by just nudging, and also set himself for the back end of the innings. You ask bowlers who they don't want to bowl to, and he'll be up there as one of those players who are difficult to contain.
Under no circumstances should he bat lower than 4 in one-day internationals. And exactly the same in T20. The earlier he bats, the more deliveries become available to him and the more effective he is.
It's well bowled. Looking for the block hole and getting it. Just the 1 and 5 off that over. 204 for 4. He'll be weighing it up in his mind, won't he? Oh dear, look at that. Doesn't look good. He's got it away. It's gone for 4. They were searching for that boundary. And De Villiers gets it back with a point.
Quality batting, just opening the face, AB de Villiers, and his placement was spot on. He's a sweeper on that cover boundary. But once that went past, backward point, never a chance of stopping it. This outfield's quick, you get value for shots. It's just so difficult to contain in the latter overs. AB de Villiers, disappointment there for Ishan Sharma as well. That was too short and too wide.
Has he got that? Has he? Has he? No. Oh, great effort that. Just lobs over him. And is able to get through for 3 as well. So good running after the, well, let off you'll say, but a good effort there by Yuvraj Singh. Tough one that. 213 for 4. And look at the power play and how it went. Maybe De Villiers, large and in charge during this one, making sure that he put the Indian bowlers to the sword. Opens the face, goes straight down the ground, peppers the offside boundary. The wicket of Quinton de Kock as well for India. And that's where the runs were scored. A couple of 6s. No, more than a couple. 3 6s and a couple of 4s. 45 for 1. And the power play. It's good going by South Africa, and they had a set partnership in that. Would have helped things greatly. The dismissal of de Kock in the previous one-day international, things didn't go so well for South Africa. They slowed down a whole lot. India bowled that much better. What they'll want in this one is to make sure that they can finish the innings well, play these last 10 overs very well.
Personally, I think a score of around 250 plus will be tough to get. Ashwin hasn't had any success today. He's been unlucky. The catch dropped off his bowling. He's bowled better in my view, although he has conceded 39 already and he's only into his 8th over. He has been better today.
He'd be happy as a lefty in. Not that he minds right-handers. As Yuvraj Singh, he dropped 1 and de Kock tried to go over the top earlier, and in the same sort of area it's AB de Villiers this time, and he puts the dive in, but he can't get there. Just
Second one was more difficult. He got to the first one comfortably, didn't quite get to this one. He was a bit slow to turn as well.
Has he got it away? No, just the 1. Yeah, the predicament with those ones as they sort of start to go over your head is whether to turn or not to turn. And if it goes high, you're okay because you can turn straight away and then make the distance. But if it doesn't go that high, then you're thinking perhaps it doesn't get over me. So you sort of half run with an angled body, half turned, and you can't run as quickly. And you find that many a time fielders don't get to it. In the end, the dive doesn't quite make it. And you're asking yourself, oh, if only I had. But it's tough to judge.
Yeah, it's always better if you can turn earlier rather than later and then try and catch the ball over your shoulder as it's coming down. That way you get yourself into a better position.
A shot, beautiful shot. All the way for 6. There was a pause in the delivery. So a pause for the ball to turn up, and when it did, just dispatched by de Villiers. 223 for 4.
What a phenomenal shot. Just somebody with exceptional talent can delay everything, wait for the ball, and then hit it like that. Right
under the eyes. and a full swing of the blade as well. It's off the edge, intentionally gone fine, but perhaps finer than he aimed. It works though for South Africa. 4 runs.
It does work. Works for David Miller as well. To the world for his confidence. Played it very late. In the end, it came off a thick outside edge, but he did aim it in that direction.
Tough start if you're the bowler. They turn up and 4 straight away. You're clawing back the over from here. And for South Africa, looking to make sure that it counts, having started so well. Have to look to score for each of the deliveries left. Those are the projected scores. And I think that depends on a couple of things. If a couple of wickets fall, then you'd say 270, 280. But if wickets don't fall, if de Villiers or Miller stay in, if Miller gets in, then you could be thinking 290.
That's what I was thinking. 8 and over is what South Africa will be aiming for. That'll take them to 295. And this is a good delivery though. It's full and it's straight, and not much David Miller can do with that.
Heightened expectation from the crowd as de Villiers takes strike on 99 from 95 balls. The time taken to set the field. There they go, the spectators. A slow hand clap, not quite, just a hand clap. And here we go. Gets it away, and Supersport Park erupts. AB de Villiers, South Africa's one-day international captain, gets a century, number 16. And it goes together with 36 50s that he's got in his career. A wonderful player. And he's played quite beautifully here today. Applauded by his teammates as well. 3rd century against India.
On his home ground as well. Quite brilliant. Again, AB de Villiers. A real captain's innings.
A fine again and 4 again. That's how the over started. And that's how it ends. 10 off the over. 2-3-3 for 4. Oh, hello. Oh, what about that? That is fantastic use of the crease. He's gone deep into it. It's not too short. And it's just deposited it on the bank. 6 runs.
On fire, AB de Villiers. Very good use of the crease and very good footwork. That delivery wasn't that short at all. Quite brilliantly played.
We'll take 1 there. Well, he's having a tough time here. Ravichandran Ashwin. It's tough to bowl to AB de Villiers in this sort of mood. Hey, Ravi.
Yes, and South Africa played Ashwin beautifully. You know, they've been very careful early on, circumspect.
Six more. Miller in on the act. He's decided he'll go after the spinner. And then he's got that one all right.
And this is a fabulous shot. What they've done is they've milked him early on in his first spell, and now they've got after him by hitting the 6s. And I think it's the 6 from AB de Villiers in the last over that's turned the tide in favour of South Africa.
Last over, the one over extra. You got it? Yours.
Quicker that time. Yeah, quicker again. You expect her to get quicker and quicker after you've been smashed out the ground. 14 off that one to follow up the one of 10 the over before. 2:48 for 4. Partnership 49 from 30. And this is A.B. de Villiers. These shots, some of them quite amazing. Oh, superb shot. You look in any area off the ground and he's able to get the ball there. He's got all the shots, A.B. de Villiers, and he's played most of them today in this fantastic innings. 108 from 99 balls, and he's not done yet. There's still 7 overs to go in this South Africa innings.
Good delivery this time. First ball of the over, full and straight. So 50 partnership between A.B. de Villiers and David Miller. So the good work continues for South Africa right down the order.
It's come off just 31 balls. And so Miller walking in has found his feet pretty quickly. Who said it's a tough job for him walking in at number 6 and trying to go straight away. He's gone straight away, but I reckon Kepler, as we were talking about before, the fact that he's had the time to decide on his own when to go has been all right. It's served him well. And he's going all right. He's going after them. He'll run hard as well to finish off the innings. 250 up for South Africa.
Yes, he's batted beautifully, and mentioned earlier the way they've targeted India's one of India's most experienced bowlers.
Yes, I agree with Ravi. That's been a good strategy, and it's something that's paying off for South Africa at the moment.
And where Ashwin has to be careful is the way South Africans have targeted him. Not this 6, but the one earlier where he pauses and he bowls. And it's like a telegram now to the South African batsman. He's got to be careful, because it's that one shot that can change your entire rhythm as a bowler. And he's gone for 2 more 6s after that.
Big shout, huge shout. That's close. It has to be close. A long way across the stumps. A.B. de Villiers trying to work leg side, and it didn't make contact. He's got to go. The finger's gone up.
It's good thinking by the bowler. It'll just depend on how straight it was. It was certainly full. A.B. de Villiers going across the stumps to try and work that through the leg side field. Went a little bit too far across and just missed it. We'll just have to have a look and see where that hits him, whether it'll go on to hit the stumps, and correct on both counts. Hits him in line, would have probably hit middle stump halfway up. So no problem from a decision point of view at all. But A.B. de Villiers has played a brilliant innings, a captain's innings. So he's gone for 103, 252 for 5.
Ryan McLaren has walked out to the middle. Best of 71 against India. Short one to start with, and he's able to get off the mark. That's a good wicket for India. That one of A.B. de Villiers. It's on 109. He's faced just 101 balls. And to finish off, well, you don't want him to be in at the end. There's a look at the wicket. Absolutely no doubt about that one. Given out by Jan Klutter, correctly so.
This is going to be interesting. Boundaries off the first ball of the over are going to help South Africa's cause enormously. This is putting terrific pressure back on the Indian bowlers. 5 wickets down. This next 5 overs could well call this game.
Interesting field setting employed here by Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He's got a slip in place, and he's only got 3 men on the leg side, no one at short mid wicket, and Miller just goes across, turns it behind square on the leg side and picks up a boundary easily. Continues to have the first slip. We've seen him get a few edges, and that's the reason why he's there. But you've got to bowl the right line in order to make him play on the offside.
Yeah, I would have thought on this track, in this situation, that it slip's not the ideal position right now. They'll be thinking about 300 South Africa. If they happen to get 300, this will be the 10th time this year that the Indian bowlers have conceded 300 runs. 8-0 from here gets them 1 run shy of that. Five off 2 balls. Nice and strong. There is protection in that region. They haven't been at their best in the field today, I'm afraid, India. There's been a couple of tough chances, admittedly. This one was never settled, I'm afraid, for Yuvraj, but he'll be disappointed he put that down, a man of his experience and, of course, his fielding ability. That was impossible to catch, that one. Just past the fingertips. Got that away for 4, so the line again. This could be a big over. They just need one big over in this stage, any team that is, to really propel them to a big total, to a big finish.
The slip has been taken out, and behind square and the leg side has been reinforced with a second fielder. Miller on this occasion advancing down the wicket. As we mentioned, the line too straight, heading down the leg side, and he's flicked it between those 2 men behind square. You're not going to chase anything down in this quick outfield.
Just a reference to some of those missed chances, and yes, they weren't easy. De Kock at 37 down, 43 down. De Villiers also at 36. No sitters though. I know something the South Africans have been working on, Sean, throughout this series. They've been thinking hard about the fact that if South Africa enter the last 10 overs when they're batting, this comes from Prasanna, the analyst, enter the last 10 overs when they're batting, he delivered this to the team through his research, that they will be able to go at about 8 and over, 8 or 9 and over in the last 10 overs. And that's what's happened to India this year. At the moment, 5 over mark, they've gone for 45, so that's good. Got to have wickets in hand, of course, but game 1 they certainly did it with 134 and doing pretty well at the moment. 269 for 5. A series dedicated to former President Nelson Mandela. What a remarkable few days it's been.
And when you look at him, you can just hear that voice, can't you? So distinctive.
Here's a stat for you, Sean. This will interest you. The Indian bowlers, they know the seamers. Indian seamers, on average, have gone at 6 and over the last 2 years. On average, each of them have gone at 6 and over on average over the last 2 years, the most by any country.
I think they want to spend a bit more time playing on some South African conditions, although they haven't gone great since they've been here either.
Got hold of that, but straight to the fielder. Picked him out. This time of the innings, you've got to play for your team. You can't be selfish. You've got to have a dip when you think you can. Ryan McLaren has just holed out. Sharma picks up another one.
And McLaren looks at his bat afterwards. Just I didn't get that anywhere near the middle. I hit the bottom of the bat. Have a look here. Slow delivery. McLaren goes hard at it. Hits it quite high up on the bat. Doesn't get anywhere near the contact he was after. He was targeting mid-wicket. He drags it a touch squarer. Easy catch for Yadav. It's another wicket for Sharma. It's 100th one-day international wicket for him. McLaren goes for 6. South Africa 269 for 6.
So Wayne Parnell gets a run today with Steyn Morkel rested, and he gets a bat right now. He's in the middle. At the non-striker's end, Miller on strike at the moment. Sharma's done a very good job today. Drafted in the last game in Durban. Wasn't that impressive then. Didn't bowl with any great pace. He's been given a bit of a license to bowl a bit quicker today with a bit more fire. and that's his 4th wicket. Sean mentioned it's his 100th in one-day international cricket. That's his 4th today, and he's only conceded 4 runs and over.
It's the second time he's turned to the slow ball. He just dismissed JP Dumini also with the off cutter. And he could have had a 5th. He had a catch dropped. They had the cock dropped by Yuvraj Singh. So it's been a good outing for Sharma.
3 dot balls so far in this over. And a stretch for that one. There is a man down, a 3rd man, so it's just going to be the single off the toe end of the bat. Hasn't had a good time of late in one day. Has got a bit of a pasting in the last 3 games in India against Australia. There's his groupings of his wicket deliveries today. And a nice little milestone as well.
Over the wicket to you.
This will be a timely return. Someone that MS can certainly sit down and discuss at length regarding the upcoming test matches. Quick single out of the blocks very smartly. David Miller, Parnell off the mark.
It's an opportunity for the Indian bowling lineup to finish well here. They can get a few more wickets. They can even look at bowling South Africa out. In a better performance from them. I suppose it does help that you break that opening partnership of Umla and de Kock, even if it was a low dipping hip half full toss.
Yeah, what was that stat? They dismissed them. They broke their opening stand in the first 2 games after 35 overs and 1 delivery on both occasions. It's a really good delivery. And an outstanding over. Picked up a wicket and just conceded 2 runs. 271 for 6.
This is the 4 wickets that he got. Good areas up front, good fast bowling. Picked up 2 wickets, and then when the batsman got in, he went for the variations. The off cutter on this occasion hits the leg stump, and McLaren doesn't get all of that. He's caught on the fence. So good bowling all round, good bowling up front, and good mixing it up at the death.
Parnell on strike. Just the single. Just a quick reference I made to the test match coming up, Sean. I'm interested to see Zahir Khan, who's in the squad. Zahir Khan, we understand, has spent weeks up in the Alps in Europe, has reassessed his fitness. Apparently he's lost something like 8 kilos, I understand, 8 to 9 kilos. Super fit. He's done a lot of stretching, done a lot of strength work. All the fitness work that he used to do apparently was wrong. He was told by his own fitness trainer he brought on board.
He spent a bit of time with Adrian LaRue, but I also hope he's done some bowling in that time.
Straight at the man. Yeah, it's going to be great to see him back. I mean, he's a quality bowler. He's certainly performed well in South Africa in years gone by. There's 1 or 2 batsmen who've had the issues with him.
Yeah, I think the bowling attack for me would be Sharma. I've been impressed by him. Ishan Sharma. And then to go with Zahir Khan as the 3rd seamer. And then Ashwin would be my spinning option of that attack. Ashwin brings you a bit to the party with his batting as well. I think he averages over 40 in Test cricket. So yeah, it should be a great series. Look forward to that.
Yeah, it'll be on a willing track at the Wanderers too, I'm sure. That's why I said that MS Dhoni will be so happy that Sharma's got back on the horse today and performed well. So that last over was a beauty. Picked up a wicket, just conceded 2. This over, 2 runs as well, and we're halfway through it. There's a look at that tour schedule. 18th to 22nd of December at the Wanderers. And then Boxing Day Test. Good to see the Boxing Day Test back in Durban. It's nice and full, and he's hammered that. There is some work to be done. Doesn't quite get there. That's a good shot. Nicely played. Would have surprised me a bit with the full toss.
The full toss did for Hashim Amla earlier on in the day in the opening spell of Shami. On this occasion, Parnell equal to the task. Mid wickets up in the circle, quite close actually, trying to prevent the single from being taken. He's not on the edge of the circle, and he drags it well. Kohli makes some good yards. Unfortunately for India, can't cut it off.
Just the single this time. There'll be a couple of Indian batsmen out there right now, knowing they've got a serious job to do on a good surface. It's a good track, this one, as you said in the pitch report, but they will know there's no stain in Morkel.
Yeah, they'll be happy about that. The catalyst for South Africa, they've had 500s so far in the series, and at one stage, they were not so long ago, they were really battling to get hundreds. There was 15 games where they only managed to get 100, and that was against the Netherlands. It was JP Duminy, and now all of a sudden 5 in 3 matches, and that's the platform that you need to get big scores.
What a shot that is. There's no sweeper on the offside. He's manoeuvred that, opened the blade and smashed it for 4 to sign it off. 11 from it, 282 for 6.
We know David Miller's got lots of power, and he has a prime example of it. It's a low full toss, and he absolutely middles it. Opens the face, he knows extra cover, there's no one on the boundary, and he places it perfectly. Changing his angle of attack, coming around the wicket, but just missing his length by about half a foot. Miller knew from the time he hit that it was a boundary.
Good position. In the 8 overs since 40. Direct hit, I think, might have found him on the way back to the change room.
Yeah, I think the bowler also was lacking there. He should have got back to the stumps. Jadeja bounces it short as you should, trying to hit the stumps, but if Yadav gets back quickly, he takes it in his hands and just takes off the bails and he's out. Jadeja's disappointed because he wanted a direct hit.
On the bounce. Yeah, I just wonder, is this going to be the day where the Indian batsmen fire? They'll look forward to batting on this surface. They'll know they can trust the surface. They know that Steyn and Morkel are not there. They know it's going to be a couple of blokes who haven't played for a game or two, such as Wayne Parnell, who's out there at the moment. Of course, there's going to be McLaren. There's going to be Tutsorbi, who picked up 4 wickets. There's Philander, who just played in the last game and missed the one before that. So a couple of guys who haven't had a solid run. And there's Tahir. That's the other one to consider, along with JP Duminy. Completely different lineup today for South Africa.
Yeah, much different bowling attack. Just talking about the man who set things up for South Africa in the series, Quinton de Kock. If we just compare that table of some formidable players for South Africa: Smith, Amla, Cullis, de Villiers and Gibbs. That's after 16 matches, 16 innings.
He's hammered that. Wow. It's almost knocked him over the boundary line.
He's done seriously well to stop that. I didn't give him half a chance when the pitch just in front of him. He's done a really good job. He's laughing about it now. It was nearly a messy moment there. Absolutely crunched. Miller opens the face, bounces once before and knocks him off his feet. The count's on 1, 2. Can he stand up? Yes, he can. Going to go off the middle of that bat. It's a slow delivery that's angled to the boundary. Just going back to that graphic, there is de Kock. And I mean, it's an unbelievable start that he's had to his international career. Heaps ahead of those other 5 names in the amount of runs he's gathered. Average is good. And look how many hundreds. He's got 4 compared to only 1 from the other 5. So if he can just keep going in that vein and emulate some of those players, he really does have a bright future ahead of him.
400s and he hasn't even turned 21. Hammered that one. Gee, that's a good shot. He has got so much power, this man. They're trying those low full tosses and they're disappearing pretty quickly. Another good over. 9 from it. 291 for 6.
Absolute quality shot this from Miller. Low full toss once again, and we've seen how powerful he can be. We saw it in the last over. He crunched one along the ground through extra cover for 4. On this occasion he goes airborne and he knows he's middled it. He can't bowl in this area. Against Pakistan we saw that angle of attack, firing in his feet. allowed him to be a little bit more restricted than that. But if you give him a bit of width on the offside and he can free those arms, he is going to punish you.
There we go, there's some big overs from South Africa right towards the end. The run rate overall at just a shade under 6. Again, South Africa got it right with their stats, with their targets, things that they were looking at before this series, thinking of going at around 8 and over for the last 10 when they're batting. 79, 78, my mistake at the moment. Should be out. Comfortable catch. Short ball, nice venom from Shami this time. Short ball high on the bat, and Rowett does the rest.
Good change up this from Shami. He's banged it in. Attempted Yorkers have disappeared. And he's tried to also tuck up at times, and he's also not had much success. This time he goes for the change up. Short ball. Parnell's goes hard at it, turning his head, and a comfortable catch for Sharma on the boundary. Didn't get anywhere near the contact he was after. Just went high in the air. Plenty of time for him to position himself. And Wayne Parnell's on his way. He goes for 9. South Africa 291 for 7.
Vernon Philander. He likes these rolls. 5 balls he's got. It's never easy, but he'll certainly do his best for the team. Here's another look at the dismissal. Nice to see the Indian bowlers employing the odd short delivery. More short deliveries than we've seen so far in this one-day series. That one's certainly stemming the flow and getting the desired result.
291 for 7. You don't mind a few balls. Walk in, try and show a little bit of flair. Played some good shots in the last game, did Vernon Philander. I think he hit 3 boundaries in that last over. So he'll be hoping to carry on. But the man on strike now is David Miller. He sits on 47. The last ball he crunched out of the ground. Can he do more of the same?
5 balls left. Miller. He's hit that very high indeed, and that's going to go all the way for 6. Yes, it is. It is the shorter boundary. It's a fine stroke.
650 for David Miller. It's been a wonderful little cameo here at the back end of the South African innings. The ball does fly at the half-felt. He's got underneath that one. I was watching Rohit Sharma on the square leg boundary, and he thought he was in with a chance for a while. But the contact was good enough. Took it all the way. 5 4s, 3 6s, just 32 deliveries. A wonderful innings for South Africa.
I would imagine that David Miller was feeling under a little bit of pressure before this game today. And the way he's handled this has been superb. Single this time.
That's where you've got to bowl to him, I feel. Can't afford to give him any room to allow him to free those hands of his. If you tuck him in and go at his feet, it's a lot difficult for him to get good strike on the ball. That one didn't hit anywhere near the middle. Bottom of the bat, but the contact was still good enough. The man in the crowd, did he get it? Get it? Get it? Good catch, son. Obviously, we had some good coaching at a good school.
So we've got 3 balls left now in this innings. 298 the R. Should be able to get past that 300 mark. I'll say it again, it's not a good record. It'll be the 10th time India have conceded 300 runs in a one-day international this year. Chased a few of those down though, it must be added. Chopped it on, first ball, bottom edge, onto the top of middle stump.
I was saying that Vernon enjoyed his innings in Durban. Managed to have a few lusty blows. On this occasion, another change up by Shami. Goes in with a short delivery. Might have been a slow ball bouncer. Vernon Philander goes really hard at it, gets the bottom edge, drags it onto the stumps. That's what happens at the end of the innings. Sometimes you can be a king, other times it doesn't work out. Just hits the top of the bails. First delivery that he receives. Shami's happy. He's picked up another wicket. Vernon goes without troubling the scorers. And South Africa are now 298 for 8.
Lomwabo Tsotsobi batting at number 10 today. Imran Tahir is going to be just ahead of the roller, I guess. 2 balls left. Oh, he's got that away. Just the one down to Sharma to get off the mark.
Okay, he should be safe now. He should get to 300. 299 for 8. Quick delivery, 140 kilometers an hour. Banged in short. This was the wicket of Philander. He's looking for the pull shot in front of square. Drags it on, and you'll be thinking, well, he's a touch unlucky sitting in the change room, getting ready to come out and bowl. David de Villiers, he'll be a happy man. He's got 100 himself. His team are probably going to go over the 300 mark. And I feel that he can defend that.
Maybe just out of those 9 at the moment, maybe 10, where they've conceded 300. India have actually won 4 of those, chased him down. 1 ball left now in this innings. 299 for 8 it is. Into the ground. Come back for the second, which takes them past that 300 mark. It's been entertaining stuff, really has. South Africa ending up on 301 for 8 after their 50 overs. Miller finishing 56 not out. Terrific stuff considering they were 3 for 28 in a lot of trouble right at the start, Sean.
Yeah, as they haven't got used to stuttering at the start. It's been wonderful foundations laid by de Kock and Amler so far in the series. But they found themselves in a bit of trouble. 3 down quickly. And a wonderful partnership between de Kock and David de Villiers really did take them to some good heights. And a little cameo at the end by David Miller. 56 of 34 deliveries has taken South Africa over the 300 mark. So South Africa will be happy. They'll feel like they've done a good job. They'll be back in their bowling unit to defend that score.
The news, unfortunately, is that this match, the third Momentum One-Day International between South Africa and India, has been abandoned due to rain. You see the rain falling there, and a little earlier, everybody shaking hands, and the South Africans going into the Indians' change room. Happy, obviously, that they've won the series 2-0. And